The Edinburgh Festival Fringe is the largest event of its kind in the world. It began in 1947 when 8 theatre companies turned up, uninvited, alongside the acts performing in the first Edinburgh International Festival. Since then the Fringe has grown into the biggest of Edinburgh's festivals. Performer Scott Hutchison aka Super Scott practicing his fire juggling outside St Giles Cathedral during the Fringe. There are 2 vibrant street performance spaces in the heart of the city, the Royal Mile between Coburn Street and George IV Bridge, also known as High Street, and the Mound Precinct. These become the focus of the festival atmosphere that takes over Edinburgh in August, with thousands of locals and tourists mingling to see the spectacular acts that travel from all over the world to entertain the crowds. Street performers begin each day by putting their identity passes into a bag for a draw to see who gets to perform and at which performance sites. There are more performers than slots, and not everybody gets a show each day. Spiky Will and Maple Stable Gun Amelia Cadwallader wait for the daily draw to begin. The mighty Gareth claims his pitch. Performers claim the spots on the lineup after the draw by signing the names on the sheet for the day. There is a friendly camaraderie in the mornings as the performers spend time together before their shows begin. Will Ladbroke Hutt, aka Spiky Will, is a meat cleaver juggler. He is renting accommodation in Edinburgh for the festival, and his wife, Tabitha, and 2-year-old daughter, Mabel Rose, are staying with him. You've got an audience of liberal Europeans just after the Brexit vote, and you're taking off your clothes to reveal the Union Jack. Will Spiky Will begins his show outside St Giles Cathedral. Below the crowd enjoying the show. The crowds here are legendary. It's a real top-up of performer Juice Will gets a reminder of the minutes left of his allocated time. Hazel Anderson tours throughout the year with a variety of characters, and Mabel is the one she has brought to Edinburgh, along with her son, Toby. Her act is a mixture of circus, physical theatre and storytelling. Mabel tries to make a volunteer Cara in this case magically disappear during her show. I did a foundation in acting, and then an MA in acting, and then I ran away to the circus. Mabel tries to burst a balloon held by a volunteer by cracking her whip. Street performing is an incredibly male-dominated profession, with 2 women out of 42 performers at Covent Garden. Mabel steals a kiss during her show. Amelia Cadwallader lives in Barcelona with her husband, who she met in Ibiza studying clowning. Amelia transforms herself into Maple Stable Gun, watched by her daughter Ainoa, in the makeshift backstage area behind St Giles Cathedral. We performers are often pushed together when we are working, looking after each other's children. Amelia Maple Stable Gun is loaned tights by fellow performer Mabel backstage. Amelia has been performing since the age of 5 when she took part in her first Scottish dancing competition in a country hall in Australia. She has studied clowning in 5 countries and performed in over 10 countries. Maple Stable Gun performs her hula hoop show outside St Giles Cathedral. I liked the idea that I start looking normal, a secretary, building it up from there, like going wild on a Friday. Amelia Maple engages with the crowd, and gets friendly with the spectators. Based in Barcelona, Amelia continues to train in physical theatre and comedy, teaches hula hoop classes, co-manages a rehearsal and cabaret space Cabaret Descent, and co-produces cabaret nights there. David Splatt is a Melbourne-based mime and puppeteer with a whimsical style of silent clowning and a unique take on the vaudeville. There is musical saw playing, marionette manipulation, and a lot of powder. David Splatt applies his makeup in the makeshift backstage area behind St Giles Cathedral. Maple Stable Gun walks by David Splatt behind St Giles Cathedral. Herbie is originally from Consett in County Durham. He has travelled widely but cut his teeth on the streets of Covent Garden as a street performer. He has also trained as a teacher, and created music and stage acts along with a dinosaur circus show. This year his act centres around his pantomime horse. The dragon puppet needs to fit in the suitcase so I can get it on the X53 bus. Herbie Treehead gets the public to volunteer to be his pantomime horse on the Royal Mile. An hour before the draw, there's about 5 of us. We sit in the corner and have coffee. This is how people develop ideas. Herbie Hiroshi Yuzue's character, Hera-san, is a world-traveling Japanese street performer, born in Japan, raised partly in the UK, who as an experienced break dancer and gymnast combines incredible acrobatic skills with comedy, and even kung fu routines and chopstick skills. The earthquake made me think about what I wanted to do. I saw a performer at the evacuation site making people laugh. It was beautiful. Hiroshi performer Living Space receives his just rewards after his show on the Royal Mile. Escapologist and magician Tony Roberts puts on a show in front of the National Galleries on the Mound. Cubana Lindsay packs up and heads off on his bicycle with his trailer after his show in Parliament Square.